Good morning and welcome to the Charlie Ward Daily News. I'm Paul, and unfortunately, Drew can't be with us today as she is feeling a little bit under the weather. We hope she has a speedy recovery and joins us again very soon. I'd like to start off today with a thought. Isn't it wild how quickly things change? Just a few years ago in England, you could be arrested for not wearing a face mask, and now you could be arrested for wearing one. The world has really done a full 180 on face coverings. Talk about a massive turnaround. A massive data breach has exposed nearly 2.7 billion records of personal information for people in the United States. The leaked data includes names, social security numbers, and addresses. The breach is linked to National Public Data, a company that compiles and sells personal data for background checks. The stolen information, originally offered for sale, has now been leaked for free on a hacking forum. If you're in the US, it's likely your data was compromised. So be sure to monitor your credit and watch out for phishing scams. Maybe we shouldn't be selling personal data. Just a thought there. As investigations continue into the tragic plane crash in Brazil that claimed 62 lives, more details about the victims have come to light. Among those lost were 8 cancer doctors, a 3-year-old child, a lawyer who specialised in airline lawsuits, and a Venezuelan family with their dog. The twin-engine plane was en route from Parana to Sao Paulo when it spiraled and crashed in a residential area. While the cause is still under investigation, all bodies have been recovered, and a preliminary report is expected within 30 days. This marks Brazil's deadliest plane crash since 2007. In a shocking incident in Rosario, Argentina, a former employee of a medical oxygen company, Juan Manuel Medina, intentionally crashed his Cessna 152 into the company's plant. Medina had hinted at his tragic decision via WhatsApp messages and even posted a photo of a large explosion on social media just hours before the crash. Taking off from Alvear Aero Club at 11:50 a.m., Medina crashed the plane into the plant where he had worked until recently. Investigations are ongoing, but it appears Medina deliberately caused the crash. The town of Southport, England, gathered on Sunday to mourn the loss of 9-year-old Alice de Silva Aguiar, one of the 3 girls tragically killed during a Taylor Swift-themed dance class. Hundreds of mourners, including Chief Constable Serena Kennedy, attended the funeral at St. Patrick's Catholic Church, which was adorned with pink ribbons and balloons in Alice's memory. Amid the grief, Kennedy delivered a powerful message from Alice's parents, urging the community to reject the violence that has shaken Britain since the attack. Alice's parents described her as a perfect dream child who brought joy to everyone she met. As Southport grieves, they remember Alice's radiant smile and her love of dance. Japan has just announced the killing of its first fin whale in years, a 64-foot, 55-ton giant caught off Iwate Prefecture. This controversial move comes from Kyoto Senpaku, a whaling company operating in one of the few countries that still defies international rules against whaling. Fin whales, the second largest animals on Earth, are listed as vulnerable to extinction by conservation experts. The announcement follows the arrest of Captain Paul Watson, a prominent anti-whaling activist, sparking concerns that Japan may soon expand whaling beyond its territorial waters. Japan argues that fin whale populations have rebounded, but many experts strongly disagree, calling the decision a grave mistake for whale conservation efforts. Victoria's Chief Health Officer has linked a cooling tower in Melbourne's west to a recent Legionnaires outbreak that has claimed 2 lives. Over the weekend, the health department confirmed that a man in his 60s was among the victims of the outbreak, which has now seen 78 confirmed cases and 10 more suspected. Dr. Claire Looker, the state's top health official, said the cooling tower in Laverton North is the likely source, adding that it's a large site commonly found in workplaces and shopping centres. The site was visited and disinfected within 24 hours after testing positive for Legionella. Although the peak of the outbreak appears to have passed, investigations are ongoing to determine the exact cause. The outbreak, which began on July the 26th, is the worst in Victoria in over 20 years. The US dollar's dominance in global reserves has fallen below 60%, marking a significant shift as central banks in developing countries diversify with gold and local currencies. BRICS nations are at the forefront of this movement, reducing their reliance on the dollar amid concerns over the US's $35 trillion debt. Over the past 2 decades, the dollar shares in the world reserves has dropped from 72% in 2002 to 59% in 2024. Meanwhile, China's yuan has seen a threefold increase in the same period. If this trend continues, the dollar's global reserve share could fall even further, potentially triggering economic turmoil in the US. The UK Foreign Secretary expressed deep concern over Israel's airstrike on a Gaza school being used as a shelter, which reportedly killed at least 80 people and injured 47 more. David Lammy condemned the strike and urged both Hamas to stop endangering civilians and Israel to adhere to international humanitarian law. He called for an immediate ceasefire to protect civilians, free hostages, and allow aid into Gaza. Israel's military acknowledged the strike, stating it targeted a Hamas command center within the school, though Hamas denied this claim. This seems to me that every building that gets hit that contains civilians, Israel is saying contains Hamas. I'm not sure I totally believe that. Ukrainian troops have made a significant advance, pushing up to 30 kilometers into Russia, marking the deepest incursion since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Intense fighting has been reported in the Kursk region, with Ukrainian forces capturing several villages. Russia's defense ministry acknowledged the incursion, admitting clashes near villages deep inside Russian territory. Ukrainian President Zelensky confirmed the operation, stating it's a response to over 2,000 cross-border attacks from Russia this summer. This offensive is seen as a strategic move to destabilize Russian defenses and shift the focus from Ukraine's eastern front. Kamala Harris has adopted one of Donald Trump's key campaign promises, ending taxes on tips for service workers. Speaking at a rally in Las Vegas on Saturday night, Harris announced that she plans to push forward with this policy, which has been a flagship promise in Trump's campaign. This move signals a direct appeal to service industry workers as both sides vie for their support. Well, pity Kamala didn't come up with it herself. Elon Musk and President Trump are set to go live on X Spaces tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This highly anticipated event promises to be a major discussion, combining Musk's technological vision with Trump's political insights. Tune in to hear their conversation unfold in real time on X's platform. The Trump campaign has confirmed a security breach after Politico received internal communications and documents from an anonymous source. Starting on July the 22nd, emails from an AOL account identified as Robert included sensitive materials such as a dossier on J.D. Vance and internal messages from a senior Trump aide. The FBI and local police are investigating a series of improvised explosive devices found on Maui, including one that exploded and damaged a passing car. We will update you as more details break. In Belgrade, Serbia, tens of thousands of protesters gathered on Saturday to oppose a government plan for lithium mining. Despite warnings from officials about a supposed plot to destabilize the government, President Alexander Vucic claimed Russian intelligence had warned off a potential coup orchestrated by Western powers. The protesters chanted slogans like, "There will be no mining," and "Treason, treason," and some marched to block train traffic, demanding an official ban on the mining project. The protest follows a series of environmental rallies across Serbia. While the government argues that the mining plan will boost economic development and bring Serbia closer to EU membership, critics fear it will cause significant environmental damage. The mine, operated by Rio Tinto, is controversial due to its potential impact on the Jadar Valley's water supply and agricultural land. Authorities have launched a campaign against the protesters, but organisers insist their rally is purely ecological. The situation remains tense, and we will update you as more details break. And I would just like to end today's news on an interesting thought. And this is from Melissa Chen on X. Keir Starmer is releasing violent criminals from prison just to replace them with people who commit thought crimes on X. And he is spending police resources investigating and going after people for retweets and Facebook posts when there is a shitload of violent crime all over Britain. And that is quite thoughtful there, because we are now arresting people for just thinking and posting their thoughts. And that was the news on the 12th of August 2024. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the Insiders Club live every Wednesday and Saturday, where you, the audience, get to ask the questions. Take care, God bless, and have a wonderful day. See you all later now. Bye.